In today's investigation, we'll examine 3 documented cases where human overconfidence proved fatal against nature's most dangerous predators. From a veteran safari guide's reckless approach to territorial hippos in Zambia's Zambezi River, to a commercial diver's solitary descent into great white shark hunting grounds off Australia's coast, to a tour operator's miscalculated encounter with one of Africa's most lethal mammals. We begin with a shark attack off the coast of Australia, where a diver's professional confidence is shattered by a great white. On March 16, 2011, the waters off Jimmy's Beach, Port Stephens, New South Wales, were temperate and clear. The sky was bright, and a light breeze ruffled the surface of the bay. Lisa Mondi, a 24-year-old from Port Stephens, worked as a tour guide for a local parasailing company. She had a reputation for being an adventurous individual, a trait that often led her to take spontaneous risks. During a midday break, Mondi and 2 co-workers decided to go wakeboarding, a recreational activity involving being towed behind a boat on a board. Lisa's turn came, and she took to the water, a decision made during a period of professional downtime, an instance of seeking exhilaration in an otherwise routine day. The predator was a great white shark, a juvenile female estimated at 13 feet in length and weighing over 1,000 pounds. Its body was torpedo-shaped, designed for explosive speed. The great white is a macro-predator, an apex hunter that relies on ambush attacks from below. Its hunting method involves an initial sudden strike to incapacitate prey with a single massive bite. The shark's jaws are capable of exerting a bite force of approximately 4,000 pounds per square inch, and its triangular, serrated teeth are designed for shearing through flesh, muscle, and cartilage. The presence of the shark in the bay was an unconfirmed but not unknown phenomenon. Despite reports of recent sightings, the clear water and calm conditions contributed to a collective dismissal of the potential danger. The focus remained on the thrill of the activity, and the warning signs of the shark's presence were not heeded. Lisa's fall was a direct result of her own actions, after attempt contractions and heartbeats of its prey, providing a clear target. The shark began its ascent, accelerating in a vertical ambush trajectory. The attack was a single, swift event. The shark ascended from the murky depths below. It bit. The initial impact was sudden and forceful. The shark's jaws clamped down on the right side of Lisa's face and head. The powerful bite, estimated to be over 3,000 pounds of pressure, crushed bone and severed nerves. The razor-sharp, serrated teeth tore through tissue. The shark did not shake its head to rip off flesh, as is often depicted. Instead, the force of the strike and the forward momentum of the animal were sufficient to inflict catastrophic damage. The shark's jaws dislocated, allowing it to fully engulf the upper body. The shark pulled. It attempted to pull Lisa under the water. The force of the shark's drag caused her life jacket to come loose, allowing her to escape from the initial hold. Lisa was thrown clear, propelled back towards the surface by the force of the release. The shark, disoriented from the unexpected resistance, disappeared into the depths. Immediately following the attack, the water around Lisa turned red. Her co-workers, Mark and Rowan, reacted instantly. Mark maneuvered the boat to keep a barrier between Lisa and the last known location of the shark, while Rowan entered the water to help her. They pulled her onto the boat. The extent of the injuries was immediately visible. Lisa's arm was nearly severed, hanging by a thin strand of tissue. Her face was severely lacerated. Her colleagues administered a makeshift tourniquet to her arm and applied pressure to her facial wounds. First responders arrived on the scene, and she was airlifted to Newcastle's John Hunter Hospital. Medical reports detailed the catastrophic nature of the injuries: extensive vascular damage to the left arm and severe trauma to the head and neck.
Autopsy reports from similar incidents confirm that such injuries result from the massive shearing force of the great white's teeth, which are capable of slicing through bone and muscle with precision. The nature of the lacerations, deep and clean, was consistent with a bite and release attack from a large apex predator. The human cost of the incident was significant, but not fatal. Lisa survived.
But first, we begin in Zambia, where a safari guide's overconfidence will lead to a catastrophic encounter with Africa's most lethal mammal. On March 9, 1996, the air above the Zambezi River in Zimbabwe was hot and humid. The light, a brilliant, unfiltered glare. The river, a wide expanse of brown, sediment-heavy water, flowed with deceptive tranquility. Paul Templer, a 27-year-old river guide, was leading a canoe safari. Templer had a reputation for being an exceptionally skilled and confident guide, a trait that had led him to over a decade of navigating the river's treacherous currents and unpredictable wildlife. This confidence, however, had also instilled in him a belief in his own ability to control every variable, an overestimation of human influence in a primal environment. The predator was an adult male hippopotamus, an animal weighing over 4,000 pounds, with a hide 2 inches thick. This semi-aquatic mammal, despite its herbivorous diet, is considered the deadliest large land animal in Africa. Its primary weapons are its immense jaws and a set of continuously growing, razor-sharp canine tusks, which can reach up to 20 inches in length. Hippos are intensely territorial and possess a bite force of approximately 2,000 pounds per square inch. Their attack method is not to consume, but to defend, to crush, and to drown. They charge with immense speed, targeting a perceived threat with their powerful jaws, often severing or crushing the object of their aggression. The hippo's territoriality was a known factor in this stretch of river. Locals had long warned of a particularly aggressive bull in the area, a warning that, to Templer and his clients, was a part of the local lore, not a genuine threat. The critical decision was Templer's. When an apprentice guide's canoe was capsized by the bull hippo, Templer, instead of evacuating the area, paddled toward the overturned vessel. This action, born of a sense of duty and a calculated risk, placed him directly in the path of a highly agitated animal. He had a singular, focused objective: rescue the guide. The hippo's behavior, however, the teeth, sharpened by years of grinding, tore into his flesh. The animal's internal structure was a hot, muscular cavern. The hippo shook its head. The force ripped through Templer's body. His left arm was caught in the maw. The skin was peeled back in a degloving injury, the flesh and muscle torn away from the bone. The hippo pulled him under. Templer was submerged, a foreign object held in the animal's powerful mouth. The hippo spat. It released him, propelled him to the surface. He gasped. The hippo struck again, biting down on his torso, a tusk puncturing his lung. The pressure was immense. He was in darkness. His legs dangled from the animal's mouth. The hippos hooked him violently. He was a rag doll. The hippo submerged again. Templer held fast in its mouth. The pressure on his body was unbearable. He was released, floating in the water. He could not move his left arm. It hung, a mangled ruin. His ribs were crushed. His lung was collapsed. The hippo disappeared, its objective to neutralize the threat completed. His co-workers, witnessing the attack, quickly paddled toward him. They pulled him from the water, applying makeshift bandages. An 8-hour journey to a hospital followed, a race against blood loss and shock. Medical examinations would later reveal 38 distinct bite wounds. The degloving injury to his left arm was so severe that it required amputation from the elbow down. A medical report confirmed a punctured lung and severe trauma to his lower torso, consistent with a crushing attack from a large mammal. The attack resulted in the loss of a limb and a near-fatal series of injuries. Templar's survival was attributed to immediate first aid and the luck of a nearby hospital. The incident remains a testament to the unforgiving nature of the wild. Despite years of experience and a profound knowledge of the river, Templar's decision to approach an apex predator's territory was a fatal miscalculation. The hippo, in its primal world, was not acting out of malice, but out of a biological imperative to protect its space.
Next, we travel to Australia's south coast, where a commercial diver's solitary descent will bring him face to face with the ocean's ultimate predator. On January 22, 2007, off the coast of Port Macdonnell, South Australia, the sea was cold and the water visibility was poor. The air temperature was temperate, but a thick layer of haze hung over the surface. Eric Neerhuis, a 41-year-old commercial abalone diver, was submerged, working to collect shellfish. Neerhuis was a seasoned veteran of his trade, a man who had spent decades navigating the unpredictable waters of the Australian coastline. This professional expertise had granted him a profound understanding of the ocean's dangers, but it had also, over time, fostered a sense of invincibility. His reliance on this expertise, a critical component of his character, had led to a subconscious dismissal of the more subtle, but no less lethal, threats that existed below the surface. The predator was an adolescent great white shark, approximately 10 feet in length. The great white is a highly evolved macropredator, capable of bursts of speed up to 25 miles per hour. Its hunting strategy is a textbook ambush. The shark approaches from below, using the countershading of its body to conceal itself against the dark depths. Its prey is often identified through low-frequency vibrations detected by its lateral line and the electrical impulses from muscle contractions, which are sensed by its ampullae of Lorenzini. The shark's primary killing apparatus consists of a jaw system capable of an immense bite force, with serrated, triangular teeth designed to shear through flesh and bone. The presence of a great white in these waters was not anomalous. The region was a known habitat, frequented by seals, a primary food source for the species. The murky water, a significant environmental danger, acted as a veil, obscuring the shark's approach and negating the human's ability to see the predator before it was in striking distance. This poor visibility was a direct and overlooked warning. Neerhuis's action, and the critical decision that placed him in peril, was his continued work in an area of compromised visibility. The abalone beds were dense and lucrative, and his focus was on the task at hand, a direct manifestation of his single-minded will. A perfect cloak for its ambush. The strike was sudden. The water shifted. The shark's mouth opened. It bit. Neerhuis was seized head first, his body engulfed up to his waist. The impact was violent. The shark's jaws clamped down on his torso and shoulders. The lead-lined weight vest he wore, a standard piece of his diving equipment, absorbed a significant portion of the initial crushing pressure. The shark's teeth tore through the neoprene of his wetsuit and his skin. Its jaw mechanism, a floating structure, allowed its upper jaw to thrust forward, increasing the gape and the penetration of its teeth. The force of the bite broke his nose and drove his diving mask into his face. The shark threshed. It shook him from side to side, a mechanical attempt to rip apart its prey. The action was dispassionate, a raw expression of a predatory imperative. Neerhuis was inside the animal, in the darkness of its gullet. The weight vest prevented the serrated teeth from fully penetrating his vital organs. His arm, caught in the jaws, was lacerated, but the shark's focus was on the denser, more substantial part of his body. He was shaken again. The shark's eye, a cold black orb, stared at him from inches away, devoid of any recognizable emotion. Nurhus, in a detached state of survival, responded with his own mechanical actions. He thrust his fingers into the shark's eye socket. The shark reacted, its muscles spasming, its jaws briefly loosening. Nurhus used the moment to wriggle his upper body free. He was released. The shark, disoriented, turned and vanished into the depths. He ascended, a cloud of blood billowing around him. His son, who was on the support boat, saw the blood and immediately pulled him from the water. The boat's radio was used to call for an airlift. Paramedics, arriving on the scene, observed significant lacerations to Nurhus's head, chest, torso, and left arm. His nose was visibly broken.
Medical examination at the hospital confirmed that his weight vest had absorbed the primary impact of the bite, preventing a fatal outcome. The injuries to his torso, though severe, were primarily superficial lacerations rather than deep punctures, a forensic observation consistent with the protection provided by his gear. The attack resulted in major but not fatal injuries. Nurhus's survival was a result of his protective equipment and his reflexive, decisive action. The incident serves as a factual account of a predatory attack in a natural setting. The shark, acting on biological instinct, made a hunting decision based on environmental cues. The diver's survival was an anomaly, a testament to the unexpected variable of his equipment. The encounter serves as a final, somber statement on the unforgiving reality of the wild, where an animal's pursuit of a food source can be a catastrophic, impersonal event for a human.